Today we're feeding a lot of isopods. Very important when you have this slow breeding species. Don't rush it to... Uh-oh. I think here we have a die-off. Hello, creature lovers, and welcome to the universe. It's this time of the month again. We're doing our monthly isopod feeding, and I would say we don't talk that much. I can say everything I need to say besides working, so if you don't know me, my name is Martin, wrong bottle, from Creepy Creatures Universe, and we're doing a lot of invertebrate content. And today, this is our monthly isopod feeding, and we start off with the Armadillidium Spätz and Lucia. We have leftover food. No babies up here. Perfect. Calcium. Today they are getting carrots. Here is one of the darker ones, and we're putting in one piece of carrot. Here in the front are also some isopods. This is about a 10 or a 12 count or something. And we just watered the moss, and the box is done. Here we have Panda Kings, one of the Panda King boxes where everything is loaded with Panda Kings, as you can see. They are everywhere. I mean everywhere. In this box are about 400 Panda Kings, or even a bit more. Always be careful when you put back the bark. Oh, leftover food. That doesn't happen very often with Panda Kings. Just need to watch out that we don't miss any babies here. Looks good. And as they are cuberries, we're watered on the moss. And we give it a spray. Not a lot, just a bit of water. It is still dry under the bark, so it's not totally watered. Again, calcium, we're using crushed up eggshell, a bit of protein, a slice of carrot, and done. And yes, I'm just flipping over boxes again. I always flip over boxes. And I think this is also a Panda King box, of course. And in this box also are about 400 Panda Kings. There are a bit of pandas. Oops. Put it back. They are going everywhere now. Anyways, once again, always be sure, as you can see here, babies everywhere on the food. So make sure you don't throw them away. And yeah, tapping is the best option. Looks good. Next. Looks good. And once again, we water down the moss. We spray the box a bit. They like it a bit more moist, and it is still dry under the bark. And this is always the same part. Bit of protein, lot of calcium, piece of carrot, finished. And here we go with Cuberis white shark. Pretty curious if we can see an animal here. Let's flip. Nothing. There are 10 pieces inside. Ah, here. Right next to the food. Cool. Pretty cool. I have not thought that we will see a white shark. And as Cuberis, I hope you're still alive. Yes, you are. Haven't looked that good. One piece of carrot, but because it's a small colony, no protein here. I'm pretty sure there is enough in the substrate with some nuts or something. I don't want to put a protein in such a little box, or in a box, in such a big box with this few animals. And here we go. Overcrowded AF. Oops. Once again I dropped the lid. Good morning, I know now you're awake. These are split up candidates. Ah, that's stupid. Once again, I would say water the moss, but there isn't a lot of moss anymore, or it's under the substrate. This looks much more greasy than it is. As soon as you dig down a little bit, you see leaves coming up already. I don't want to dig too deep and don't want to disturb them. But we have fresh leaf litter that will be gone in a short amount of time. I think in about a week. We have carrots, calcium, and as you can see, they are pretty dark for dairy cows. So not that much white, but they are cool, and a lot of protein. Just cleaning up the vents a bit. That doesn't look good. We put them back to have a bit more space. And next is Panda Maculatum. Yes, of course. Oh, there is a explosion inside here. Oh yes, they are everywhere. Wow. This is the right case for an explosion. Not, oh yeah, you can see a lot of babies inside. They are everywhere. Also here, everywhere, small babies. So this is a real explosion in numbers. Also here, they are getting fresh leaf litter. Oh, come on, really? Thank you. They can munch that up. We are on, I think we said it the last time we fed, we are on the expo at the end of February. So there will be a lot of animals available and there will be space again. Piece of carrot. Feeding dish back in. Not that much protein. The armadillidiums don't eat that much protein in my experience. And protein is always a thing with mold. Next are another maculatum with too much food. Yeah, springtails everywhere. This is the high yellow, high white selection. Where we selected out, I think, about 15 animals or something to breed this high white gene. That was messy. Once again, spraying, watering. Here is a really, really high white one. Just more calcium. And a bit of protein. And they get it right here. It's really just a tiny bit. That is a very, very big fungus problem if you feed too much. Oh, we have gnats again. That happens. Psst. And here we have the Maculatum perfect zebra line. So here is the goal, to only get animals with perfect stripes. And also, like the other ones, the high whites, we selected them we separated them just a few weeks ago. So no babies here, or maybe, but we don't see them at the moment. Can you please leave the feeding dish? Thanks. Don't want to spill it all over you. Here also tiny bit of protein, somewhere where it's pretty dry. Moss is already watered, and the next tower is done. Oops! It's getting pretty heavy. Next is the Pruin Noses mix box. that looks very dry but isn't that dry underneath. So they are just hiding. This lid is absolutely a mess. We get the box as you see it. There is already a lot of moss in, but it gets too dry and we need to get rid of this box. It really gets dry here. But there are isopods everywhere that are coming out now. We really need to get rid of this box. Water this a bit more. Also, wrong pieces of carrot. Small colony carrot for a big colony. They're under the moss and hiding and getting wet spaces, so it now takes a bit of time and then they are coming out. There is the first one, there is another one. Here also inside it became slowly went back again to movement. In 10 minutes the whole box is active. But we really need to get rid of this box. You saw all the other boxes are perfect from the humidity, or it's more a problem that they get too wet like this one. And you don't want this kind of evaporated water in your bins. They can be a bacterial mess. Can be, don't must be. Here are also a lot of pots inside. This is another mix bin. Those are the Oreo crumble gene inside. Or there is the Oreo crumble gene inside. Come on. Brush. Thank you. Another one. That's why it's important to really look at the food you throw away. And I know there is a lot of pots in the bin, but I don't want to kill pots by throwing them away. Pots are dying. I'm pretty sure we are killing some of them accidentally. However, throwing them away with the food, I have a big problem with that. This time I take the whole bag. They can take plenty of leaf litter. That's the reason why the ventilation is so high. Here we can go with a good deep layer of leaf litter once again. And once again carrots. Sorry guys. We water the moss. And as you can see, the moss is already pretty wet and it never dried out, so it's just this one box and we really need to get rid of it. It is a cool box for keeping animals with a lot of ventilation, but it doesn't fit in our maintenance once a week system. Oops, overcrowded pruinosis. Once again. And the boxes for the split ups are ordered. And I know what we do in the next week until the expo. Choop, choop, choop. Once again. Oh, there is still food in there. Never thought that would happen. And this is also good to go. And now we can add in the leaf litter. So a bit of leaf litter because the box is full. And this bit of leaf litter is gone in a week. But like I said, it's not a problem. We have the expo at the end of the month, where I'm pretty sure we get a lot of space back. And when you don't know what you are doing at the last weekend of February and March the 1st, in Vienna is the Invertebrate Dog and Cat Expo. And the last one, once again, Pruinosis mix box. Also pretty cool genetics inside. And why do we have this much Pruinosis? Pretty simple. If you wanna try breeding projects, or if you have new ideas how to breed faster, Pruinosis are the perfect animals to test that out. They are breeding fast, they are easy to breed, you get a pretty quick result, and you can compare different methods. Dumping in some leaf litter, once again, gone in a week. And yes, of course, there is a piece of bark somewhere under there. They dug it up completely. And we need to get new bark pieces at the expo. So if we do split ups now, it's without bark. Big colony, a lot of food. And a lot of calcium. And this is something, guys, know your colony size. I can pile them the food up inside as I do with the protein, and I know it's gone in 2 days. If you have a 10 count or something and you put this amount of protein inside, it will mold you away, and there is this, I don't know what kind of fungus, but this yellow blooming thing that explodes in size nearly overnight. I know I have a beautiful back side. But the room isn't bigger. Then we have this nice tower here, where we have the Armadillo officinalis. They are hissers, but you can't disturb them that much in these numbers that they're really hissing. And yes, there are huge amounts of isopods in here. Oops. Bit of leaf litter, they have plenty. Moss watering without drowning pots. And they are so cool. Look at this isopod. I mean, this is an isopod. They are so big when they are fully grown. And they get up to about 2.5 centimeters, I would say. That's a pretty big isopod. And once again, not that much of protein. They are not that protein hungry, but they are calcium hungry. Here we have an empty box we're feeding. It's not empty, but it's the Panda King box. We selected already animals out, but as you can see, there are a ton of babies that are left in here, and that's the reason why we kept it. It is time to go once again through. Wow! Look at that. So let's flip here. Not that much underneath here. But as you can see, there is still a ton of isopods in. They are literally everywhere. Also, piece of carrot. Since they don't have a feeding dish, we feed the calcium like this. And a bit of protein. I can't do it here because I know how much I feed. I wouldn't recommend that. For beginners, use a feeding dish. Those are the Porcellia levis. The substrate here is building up already pretty high. So once again, I try to clean the vents. Doing this about third or fourth time. This is the latest time when you know it's time to rehouse. And this builds up over 2 to 3 weeks, I would say. And I know they need a rehouse. We're on it, I swear. Evened it out a bit. Putting the bark back in. And once again, a little bit of leaf litter. And guys, this is the big go-to tip if you need to stretch a box before you can redo it or want to redo it, like in our case. I wanted to stretch this because I wanted to know how much I have for the expo. So I wanted to do the split up as late as possible. And I stretch it with filling up leaf litter constantly. And this was one of the first boxes we did them different. I put way too much substrate in for the beginning, so we couldn't add a lot of leaf litter afterwards. So we need to do it now. We did the new boxes much different, much smarter. There are isopods everywhere here. That's so cool. Oh, he's gone. Here also. Dumping out the mess. Cleaning out the vents. And guys, to clarify that, yeah, it's when the vents are disappearing in the substrate, you should really redo the box. It is no problem because it's pruinosis. It is no problem because the lids don't seal very good. so there is enough ventilation, but this is too late. And I think I forgot to water the Porcellia levis. I talked too much and did not enough. But we will do that in a minute. Once again, bit of leaf litter. I don't need to tell you that every time. After I told it you, I think, 20 times. Prune noses are one of the protein-hungry ones, so they get plenty. And that should also last for a week before we put them back. We have to water this box. And we have those also done. And it's coming slowly, but it's coming to an end. We have here the dwarf whites. That's pretty simple, just give it a spray. They have fresh substrate, they are in a fresh box. We crumble a bit of protein over. And yes, they will eat that up. And one piece of carrot, that's it. The rest, here is one. Here was one. Ah, there is a leaf moving. Dwarf whites, as you know them, and hate them or love them, whatever. And that's it with the box. We put them back. And here we have the Armadillidium nassatum. We got this week, last week. I'm not sure if it is this week or last week, but recently. Here is one. No bark to flip. Funny story. I thought when I cut down our apple tree, or I only let the stems, and I thought Andrea said the bark would be good for our enclosures. So we pulled down the bark and put it in our garden to dry. And guess what? A day later, there were 30 centimeters of snow on the bark. And we left it because the weather said it should be better and the snow should disappear. And the snow has disappeared, but it has disappeared with rain, so they are soaking wet. And we need to buy bark at the expo. Those are the nassatums. And there are a lot of peachy ones inside. That will be pretty interesting. And here we have our little springtails. I'm not sure if we get one to see now, since they're here just a short period of time. I don't want to disturb them. I want to give them some time. So I would say we'll leave them. But we made them unboxing. The last video is the unboxing, so if you want to see them, watch the unboxing. We put a little bit of protein in here because we want them to breed faster. And then we have the cool one left. Up here are the black pandas. Maybe we see one. Nothing here. Oh, here. And here. Those are panda kings that are missing the white, and as you can see, there are already babies. Yes, that works. It is, be aware, if you select 2 to 3 animals or something, everything under a 12 count is a risk starting a colony. Why? Because of inbreed depression. Inbreed depression is a thing, but not such a thing as everybody thinks. I can make a video to the topic if you're interested in it, but it doesn't is that big thing, especially when it comes to invertebrates. The only thing I'm saying is there are laboratory mice steams, genetic pools that are way over 100 years, and they are just inbreed. Here we need to be careful. This is the box where we put two Oreo crumbles and one completely white Procellonitis pruinosis. As you can see, babies are showing up, so they must have one of the two genes. Big one is here. Here is the white one. Yes. Pretty cool. And since we have two different genetics inside here, this is a bigger project. We need to wait at least 2 generations to get colored animals, or more colored animals than 2 or 3, because it's different, because they are producing heads for Oreo crumble, they are producing heads for whiteout, and it's possible that there are already double heads for whiteout and Oreo crumble inside, so we need to let them pair again. Oh, I almost forgot the carrot. And here we have this pretty cool Porcellio spinicornis we collected outside. Yes, that worked well. We give them a bit of leaf litter as well. And as you can see, I think I already said that, but there are high yellow animals inside here, like here. And here. So we have some high yellows. Also interesting thing to breed, I would say. And they are not that protein driven, or not protein driven at all. And they like it not too wet. So I'm just watering a bit because the box is already soaked. Yes, and guys, that was the last Isopod box. I think we saw... Oh, no, it was not. For to go, guys. Nearly forgot about this side. Wanted to save them for last. Let's go with Porcellio. Now I'm Polivari. High yellow ghost. And they are growing pretty good. This is the colony where we have, or where we needed the most time to start it. Because I don't know why, but we got the isopods, I would say most of them adult. And it took a really, really long time before we saw babies. And after we saw a few babies, the females died. But there are enough offspring to start the next generation with much bigger numbers. So I think we're getting them to run. I think I already saw small ones again, but it doesn't rush, it has time. Very important when you have this slow breeding species, don't rush it to sell something. They are running since the 18th of April last year, and the only animals we gave away happened shortly before Christmas to Felix from Vienna Invertebrates to exchange for expenses, and we gave away 10 animals. Ooh-wee! That's pretty cool. Those are the Armadillidium klugi Lake Scutari. You can, yes, you can see them. Stupid question. And I don't know what we feed it here, but it is nearly only a shell left. But I think it was pumpkin. And those animals just get a little bit of water on the moss so that we have this moist area there, and not a single bit of moisture anywhere else. There was a little bit of moisture in the substrate when we set up the box, and that's enough. They like it really, really dry. Hoo, 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 hoo. They are growing pretty well. Guys, this is Porcellio expansus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I think this there is dead. Yes. Saw the mold. Damn. But this happens. To see 5 of a 10 count, I would say this is a pretty good goal, not goal, achievement. But we found 2 dead as well. So maybe those bigger, flatter ones, we are better off with more than a 10 or a 12 count. I mean, we did one big mistake once again. We just set the box up when we get them. So we have to deal with mold in the box. That is pretty normal, but it doesn't do ourselves a favor in reality. So if you have the opportunity to set up boxes and let them run empty with springtails and everything, you are on the winner side. Hooey. Uh-oh. I think here we have a die-off. Yes. Here happened something that never happened before. Here is a lot of dead isopods. And this box isn't dirty or something or a mess. As you can see, that's pretty interesting what happened here. And those are the downsides, and this is the box you're redoing pretty fast. Because you want to know what happened. I mean, there are plenty of alive isopods, so it's not a complete die-off, but it is a big die-off, and it happened over a week. I know what I do in the next few days. Oh. No ammonium smell or something like that? There can be something bad in the substrate that was just in a little bit of it. Guys, this happens. And now is the goal to understand why it happened. Like I said, I don't think ammonia buildup is a thing. The vents are free. Maybe, and this is a good possibility, it was getting too wet inside there. It's, wow, that happens over a week. And they are dry. They are bone dry. You can crumble them. Yep, that's something I need to do pretty quick, because we don't want to have a bigger die-off. So we need to go through the box and get all the pods out. This box was pretty overcrowded, but not that you say it's like one of the other ones I already showed you. So this is pretty interesting what happened here. And like I said, we looked at the box a week ago, so this happened in a week. Okay. This is a big disappointment. I would lie if I would say I'm not disappointed, but as I said, this happens, and there are pods inside, so we can rescue the species in our breeding, but that needs to happen fast. So I know what I do tomorrow. Yep. And with this pretty disappointing thing, that's it for the isopod feeding. As you can see, lots of cool stuff happened, lots of good surprises, and one big bad surprise. But that's it, what happens when you work with animals. Things like this are disappointing or sad, but they can happen. And the funny thing is, I thought when something like this happens, it would happen in one of the boxes we haven't split up, but it happened in a box where a split up wasn't a problem. So, as you can see, sometimes things are different, and I will put this box aside. I don't think that there is anything that can spread, but it's cooler there, and I don't want to overheat them because I think it's a moisture thing, and I don't want to evaporate the moisture inside. Yeah, this time a little bit disappointed because it was the end, but nothing more to say for me besides wish you all the best, have a great week, and see you in the universe. Bye bye.